So let's now come to second generation. As I told you that in the F1 generation, Mendel did selfing. Selfing means he crossed the progeny with the same alleles. So we have the progeny, the F1 progeny. Now we are going to arrive what is going to happen in case of second generation. For that we are going to make a Punnett square. As you all know, this was given by scientist Punnett, and it is an easy way in which we can have minimum errors. So we will form a square. Try to make it yourself on your notebooks also while I am making it on the board, so it will help you out, it will help you to recall, it will help you to arrive at this statement also. We will discuss it, it is very interesting. So let us see what are the possible, we have discussed the possible combinations. It can be capital R, capital Y, right? It can be small r, capital Y, it can be capital R, small y, or it can be small r, small y. So these are the maximum possible 4 outcomes. You know, when we talk about a pair of arrays, these are the 4 outcomes that could be possible. The same pair you write here. So here also we have capital R, capital Y, small r, capital Y, capital R, small y, and small r, small y. So I hope that till now you don't face any problem. Remember, I have just written the 4 possible outcomes that we can arrive at. Capital R, capital Y. Next time you can write small r, capital Y. Next time you can change the Y. We can have a recessive allele here, and then we have small r, small y. The same pattern you are following here, you have to write it over this side also. Now we are going to make boxes, because each box is going to encode for a separate pair, right? So what is going to happen? We can have here 16 combinations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13, 14, 15, 16. This is a Punnett square. Remember, it was given, this idea was given by a scientist named Punnett. So after his name, this is a Punnett square. We are going to arrive at the combination. Let's see what happens. We are going to combine the alleles for round seeds or wrinkle seeds first. See, here we can have a combination. When we multiply this, we will have both the R capital and both the Y capital, right? This is what we are going to arrive at. And then we are going to combine this with this combination. So we will have one capital R, one small r, one capital Y, and the other is also capital Y. Okay. Let's move on to next combination. You will see we have both the R that are capital, capital R, capital R, capital Y, small y. So we have 2 capital R and 1 Y small, 1 Y capital letters. So next, what is the combination? You can now make out yourself. Yes, you're right. It's capital R, small r, and capital Y, small y. Right. Next, we'll move to the next square, this 5th square. Here we have 1 capital R and 1 small r. So capital R, small r, capital Y, capital Y. We are going to discuss this with this now. So what we can see here, both the R are small and we have both the Y as capital. So remember, now we have 2 small r's and 2 capital Y. Next, we will compare this and this. Capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Next, we move on to this and this. We have 2 small r, 1 capital Y and 1 small y. Next, we are going to compare this with this, capital R, capital Y and small y. Next, this and this, we have capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. I hope you are going to make out what I am trying to say, how we are solving this Punnett square, how we are making this Punnett square. Next is capital R, small y, small y. Next we have capital R, small y, small y. Then this with this, we have capital R and here we have a small r, we have a capital Y and here we have a small y. Okay. Then we will compare this and this. We are going to multiply this and this. So we have small r, capital Y, small y. I hope you can see it and you can solve this out. Next, this with This one. What are we going to have? We have capital R, small y, small y. Next we have small r, small y, small y. You can see here. So these are the 16 combinations that we have now. Now we are going to interpret what are these going to convey. As I told you, when a dominant allele is present, the recessive allele is not able to express itself. So from the superficial point of view or from the outer appearance, what the plants will have, we'll discuss that. Let us see one by one at each combination, at each pair. Okay, so in this case we have a capital R. In fact, both the R are capital and both the Y are capital too. So what is a possible combination? We'll have round seeds, right, and we'll have what? Yellow cotyledons. So we have a combination that is round seeds and yellow cotyledons. Next also we have a capital R also and capital Y also. We have two capital Y and one capital R. So again, because the dominant allele is present, we'll have a combination that is round seeds with yellow cotyledons, because this is the dominant characteristic trait. So the plants will have round seeds with yellow cotyledons. Next also, since we have the dominant traits, we have the capital ones. So round seeds with yellow cotyledons. Next move on to the next one, next square. Again we have round seeds and yellow cotyledons, because the dominant characteristic trait is present. We have a capital R also, we have a capital Y also. So the plant will be having round seeds and yellow cotyledons. Next we move on to this square. What are we going to see over here? See, we have a capital R also, we have a capital Y. So again, dominant is going to express. You will see the dominant characteristic trait, that is round seeds and yellow cotyledons. Again, now we move on to this square. You can see here for the first time till now what we have done, we don't have a dominant R, we don't have an uppercase letter R, we don't have a capital R. So what is going to be? The seeds are going to show the recessive trait, that is what Mendel observed when the plant was wrinkled. Plant was having what? Wrinkled seeds with what? Now see, capital Y is present, means they will be yellow. Okay, they will be what? They will be yellow. So the plant has wrinkled seeds with yellow cotyledons. So this is here for the first time when we have got one pair with two recessive alleles, means the recessive characteristic trait is going to express itself. Next, since we have again a dominant R and dominant Y, capital R, capital Y, so we'll have round seeds with yellow cotyledons. But again you can see we have wrinkled here. So we have wrinkled seeds with yellow cotyledons. Why yellow? Because we have at least a capital Y over here. We don't have even a single capital R, but we have a capital Y over here. Means we have wrinkled seeds with yellow cotyledons. Moving on to this, we have again round seeds with yellow cotyledons, since we have capital R and capital Y. Here also we have capital R, capital Y, which means we have the dominant characteristic trait, that is round seeds with yellow cotyledons. And then here you see that we have round seeds again, because both the R are capital. In fact, if we have even a single R capital, if we have even one dominant trait, then the dominant is going to express. Dominant you will see, okay. So round seeds with, now but when you talk about Y, when you talk about green or yellow, you see we have two small letter Y, we have two lowercase letter y. So means the recessive is going to express in case of what? In case of the cotyledons. So we are here going to have what? We are going to have green cotyledons, round seeds with green cotyledons. So I am going to mark this here, and I am going to mark this star with this so that we can remember when we are going to count it. Next is capital R, small r, means the seed's shape is going to be round because we have a dominant allele. But we have small y means it is going to be green. Why green? Because we don't have a dominant characteristic trait for the color of cotyledons. Make it star also. Next, we have round seeds and yellow cotyledons because we have dominant characteristic traits over here. But here also you can see we have wrinkled because we have recessive characteristic trait. Both the R are small, lowercase letters. It means we'll have wrinkled seeds but with yellow cotyledons. I'm going to mark it as green star because these are the same as you can see. Okay, next we move on to the next one. We have round seeds but with what? We have green cotyledons because here the dominant is not present, so we'll have green. So now we have round green. I'm going to mark it with a black star. Next we move on to last 16th combination. We have both the R small, both the Y small. So this is going to be like, for the first time we have wrinkled seeds with green cotyledons. Okay, so we have wrinkled seeds with green cotyledons. So now we are going to arrive at the cross, at the ratio, genotypic ratio and phenotypic ratio. Since phenotypic ratio deals with what the plants look from the outer appearance, right? Means if we see a plant, if it is appearing to be tall, it is definitely tall. The phenotype is tall plant. But when we talk about the genotype, means the genetic combination, it's like, for example, if we say we have a tall plant, it may have this combination or it may have this combination, right? So if this combination is present, since the dominant is present, the plant will appear tall. But if this combination is present, then the plant is also tall. So at the genotypic level, at the genetic level, we are going to interpret in a different way. But at the phenotypic level, means from the outer appearance, the plant appears tall in both the cases. So here we are going to arrive at this by a way out of phenotypic ratio, because if we will be comparing all the genotypes, it will be somehow not easy. So that is why we will arrive only at the phenotypic ratio. So when you look at the phenotypic ratio, what are the possible combinations you have seen? We have round yellow, right? And then we have wrinkled yellow. We have also round green. And we have wrinkled green also. So what is the phenotypic ratio over here? Means from outer appearance, how many plants out of this 16 are going to be round yellow? How many plants out of this 16 are going to be wrinkled yellow? How many plants out of these 16 are going to be round green? And how many plants out of this 16 are going to be wrinkled green? So let's see. We have round yellow. I'll mark it 1, round yellow 2, round yellow 3, round yellow 4, round yellow 5, it's not round yellow, it's round yellow 6, then we have 7, this is 8 and this is 9. So we have 9 plants out of 16 which are having round seeds with yellow cotyledons. Okay. Then we move on to how many plants do we have as wrinkled yellow. Let's make out. We have 1 here, then we have 2 here. I forgot to mark this with green. 1, 2 and we have 3. So we have 3 plants out of 16 which are going to have wrinkled seeds with yellow cotyledons. Next we move on to round and green. So here we have round green 1, 2 and 3. So 3 plants out of 16 plants are going to have round seeds with green cotyledons. Next we move on to wrinkled green. When we talk about wrinkled green, we only have one combination over here at the last 16 square. So we have only one plant out of 16 that is having wrinkled seeds with green cotyledons. So the phenotypic ratio for Mendel's dihybrid cross is 9:3:3:1. When you count it, it's 9 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1 is equal to 16. So we have arrived at all these 16 combinations, and out of these 16 plants, we have 9 plants which are round yellow, 3 plants which are wrinkled yellow, 3 plants with round green, and 1 plant which is having wrinkled seeds and green cotyledons. So remember, this 9 plants are going to have round seeds with yellow cotyledons. 3 plants out of 16 are going to have wrinkled seeds with yellow cotyledons. 3 plants out of 16 are going to have round seeds with green cotyledons, and 1 plant out of all these 16 is going to have wrinkled seeds with green cotyledons. So the phenotypic ratio for Mendel's dihybrid cross is 9:3:3:1.